Hello and welcome back to another video. Today is episode number, what number is it? It's not 1, it's not 2, it's definitely not 3, ain't 4, definitely ain't 5. I know 6 was yesterday, so it has to be 7. So this is episode 7 of the British game. This is the second to last episode. We'll go up to episode 8 and then we'll call it good there, no matter where we get to. As obviously I don't want to continue this for like 6 weeks and then it just become repetitive, so we'll go up to episode 8 and call it there, before it does get too repetitive. So we'll hop in here. If you do that, I cannot speak today. If you do like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications when you do subscribe, so you never miss another upload from me. And yeah, let's get into the game, hopefully, give or take a bit. Should be in the game soon. Apologies for yesterday's video being late. I'm not happy about it, nor was I happy about the idea of it being late, or the actual fact of it actually being late. Hence today I shall make sure it is not. I say that and I'm filming at 2:30. You know, I've been doing things during the day that I haven't been able to film, you know, at 12 o'clock and stuff, because I've been busy on a project, which won't be on any of my channels. I don't know if it'll be on YouTube. I mean, I might have a video out on it on a different channel at some point in the next 4 to 5 years, but yeah, well, we'll see. It'll probably be on some other person's YouTube channel before it's even on the YouTube channel for the place it's for, but you know, that's fun. Does fall back to me at the end of the day. What were we doing last episode? Because I can't remember. Oh yeah, we have British Italy that exists. Why do they exist? I don't know. Shouldn't really, should they? Clearly we have some fixing to do. We'll do that. I reckon we should probably boost ourselves in terms of the House of Lords and Commons, simply because, well, quite literally that's what a good idea would be. There you go. Do that. What's this? Increase privacy. I'm not bothered to do that. Or that. What about this one? No, I don't feel like they're a good idea. We won't be doing any of them. Apparently the faction has got some things that we can do. It would be quite interesting. I mean, we got 5 points there, which is good. Good to see there. Good to see. Have we done that yet? Nope. Have we done that yet? Nope. Okay, have we done that? So we need 1,000 civilian factory, military factory, and naval dockyards combined, and we've got 911. Well, I mean, seeing as the game is paused, don't mind me, I'm just gonna go and make sure we complete that, so I can start having the ability. We have a lack of coal. Well, that's not exactly ideal. Oh dear. Bear with me one moment here, as I completely and utterly legally do everything upon the sun to ensure that I have exactly the resources I want to have, because that is important, obviously. So just build a nuclear factory, another nuke factory, another one, and another one, and another one, and quite a few more, to be fair to that, because I'm quite simply bored at this point, so why not build an unnormal amount of nuclear research facilities, or whatever they're called. Let's just build a bunch of nukes, effectively, is the answer to the question at hand. Is, how do you solve everything? You build a bunch of nukes. That'll solve it. In the real world, do not try this. Nukes do not solve everything. Diplomacy does. However, for the case of what I'm currently doing, nukes solve the thing pretty well. But we'll see how this goes in a second. There you go. Now we will build a bunch of naval factories. Here, we'll just build them along the coast here in order to just build up our naval production ability a bit. Unsure how much a bit is, but a bit is a bit, I guess. Build them up in there, build that one up as well. This way we should have quite a proportion of them. I think those two should be fine as well. Yes, there you go. In case we have not yet reached the amount of civilian factories that we need, we will now come through here and just build a bunch of new civilian factories, because simply why not at this point. Let's fill them up here with some more factories. This way we should be able to build things rapidly. So as before we could build stuff at an extremely quick pace, now that extremely quick pace should be about tripled. So that should be good. Now any spare space we've got will be military factories here, which is also good. Allows us to build up our military industry and expand on that as well, which honestly is quite impressive. And now we've built all that, we now have a massive new core system of factories, so that should quite possibly send us through to being an absolute dominating power, if we're not already, which by the way we are. Apparently we only have 599 factories. I think the only reason we have that is because we're at a severe lack of coal, and we should probably do a bit more, well, territorial expansion would be an idea upon to do. Oh, we're in severe lack of coal. Oh dear. Well, what would you know? I might as well trade with my Dominion. It would make sense. However, my Dominion is not too happy about the idea of giving me 184 coal. I mean, I could go to war with Germany, but I'm just like, it's sort of at a point where that's a bit excessive. So now I need to also go to war with a nation for coal. Why am I getting... Right, so it's infrastructure damage, which means I'm not gaining the extra 4 coal that's going to totally change my nation around. Yeah, that'll make so much of a difference. That is sarcasm, just so everyone's aware. 4 coal is not going to affect anything. Not even going to touch the sides of the barreled pit that we need to fill with coal. We'll develop some oil fields, because simply, what better options have we got? We need coal though, and we need a lot of it. Oh, we're lack of steel there, that's not good. I mean, coal wise, we need to sort of look for... Do not tell me Saudi Arabia has a hoard of coal in their territory, because I will go straight in and take it. And I'm not joking there. They've got a bit of steel in there. But I mean, 1 steel is not... 3 steel is still not good enough for me to invade Ethiopia over. Like, I would... If they had like 300, then count me and I'd go in. But 3 is just a bit of a taking half away from exactly what we want to do. I mean, I'm not going to lie, Spain could possibly help us out a little bit with our severe lack of an item that might be called coal. Would be good to go and get that sorted anytime soon. Yeah, I reckon we go and fix that, to be fair. Yeah, probably a good idea. Right, so we're just going to go to war with Spain, because quite simply, I don't think I've got much better to do. we will have to abandon Gibraltar here, unfortunately. Not ideal, but it is what we have to do. Push in here and hopefully get into Spain as quickly as possible. Effectively, we're going to take Spain, and then we're going to go to Ireland, and then we're going to take Ireland, and then maybe Portugal, whoever else decides to step up will get knocked down. And then we'll go into Greece for some more resources in there. And eventually we should sort the coal issue out. I hope. I really do hope we can sort the coal issue out. I really would like to do so. Why are we having an issue here? We have got a severe issue now. I am not sure why. Possibly because we're using 2 civilian factories. Well, hopefully it should all go back to being clear in a moment. And not partially red. Also, I'm pretty sure we have more than 595 factories at this point. But anyway. Wait, who's assigned that? It'll be even one of my faction mates, isn't it? Great. So the next one is 2 at a war with a certain... Yep, okay. Right, whoever designed that onto that is... Yeah. So okay. Well, we're going to help out here a little bit by the fact of we're going to go to war with one of those nations in the name of Spain. Which then means we then have to go to war with a couple other nations, which this could get quite interesting quite quickly here, because we have to go to war with Germany effectively. And it says same continent. I mean, we spread across every continent on Earth, so this is a bit difficult. I mean, there's going to be a lot of South American nations that have gone to ideology. This is going to be a long campaign at this point. Well, we may as well start somewhere. And here we go, starting somewhere. The idea here is Portugal should be in the war now, which means I'm hoping, well, I mean, that's going to happen. They're going to capture Gibraltar, that's fine. I'm hoping here Portugal do a little diversionary tactic and basically advance forward into Spain's territory, simply because they can. Which would help me out, as Portugal could effectively use a diversionary or secondary front line to draw Spain off of the main front, which obviously is coming through France and into Barcelona at the current second. Which still, we're not doing too bad. We've taken Barcelona here, which is a great victory for us. And if we keep this sort of idea up here, we should be able to get down to maybe Valencia soon, hopefully. I mean, I think we'll take Bilbao pretty quickly here. It's pretty close to our current line, so it shouldn't be too hard to take. Bearing in mind the sort of advancing speed that we're currently having. Obviously our main focus is to push down here and probably take Gibraltar back as soon as we possibly can. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Should go okay. Well done, British Italy. Turns out my allies are pretty useful. They've just put their navy out to basically shield mine, which isn't even out at the minute. I mean, I could very easily put out like the old French navy or something, just to gain naval dominance, but I'm not bothered. Because I know naval dominance doesn't sort of stop me doing what I want to do, and I know I can continue fighting even without it. So that's good. Okay, we have got Bilbao now, which is good. There are, for whatever reason, German volunteers here, which obviously isn't exactly great, but oh well. You know, I prefer not to be fighting German motorized divisions, but we can beat them back, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be possible. In fact, we might take Madrid pretty quickly here, which would be good to see. Like, it would be quite nice to take Madrid as a priority, because after that, they're pretty much just fall apart. Like, their front line would fall apart with the seizure of Madrid. Like, they wouldn't have enough to fight on from that point. It would just cool curtains for their entire idea of fighting the war. So, you know, useful idea to do, definitely. It's just whether we can do it at the minute or whether we've got the forces to do so, which I don't know. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. It's to be seen. Also, a bunch of Dominion civil wars here, which is interesting. I mean, it's not like we've just asked them to raise up. Oh wait, we did. Oh dear. Totally wasn't us. They cannot accuse us like that. It was us, just for anyone wondering. I think we did that in the last episode, was ask for them to all rise up and form a little party. Not just casually ally them all, which will mean they're now in the faction, which should mean that we can send troops over soon to take out some of the territories. And I think with, you know, places like maybe a Canada or a South Africa or whatever, I think what we'll do is take little bits of their territory, so much that it's not like super noticeable, but it will help us out to gain that sort of territory, and have a bigger empire, because I think that's one of the main goals in this, is the size of the empire does matter, and we need more than what we have. So we shall be doing that. Right. So we will. I'd say here we probably have to go down Britannia first, so we should probably do that. So we'll get that started there, and now we'll watch as we hopefully advance, still at the quick rate, into somewhere like Valencia, which the Valencia front line is maybe slowing down a little bit, which isn't obviously ideal, but what can you do? Not much is the answer to that one. We might encircle their division here just outside Bilbao, which would be really nice, and there we go, we have done just that, which is obviously really good for us. It's Greece, it doesn't really matter. We need to take Valencia here. That is almost a priority at this point, because if we don't take Valencia, then they'll still have a stronghold city that they can make, and if they put a stronghold city in there, we're done for. Like, any sort of idea of taking the city would be gone, wiped off the face of the earth. You'd have to probably carpet bomb it to even have a chance of taking it at that level, but obviously I don't want to do that. So the idea is just possibly to encircle it at this point. Encircle it with a port, because it is a port city, which obviously isn't ideal, but I think if we can encircle it at least a bit, then we're at least having a sort of victory in the fact we've had to cut off their main supply line, so now they've got to reset it effectively via the sea, which I think would be a much better option than put a bunch of our troops to capture, you know. Despite the fact we might be able to do that, it's not exactly the best idea to do, so the better idea is to just basically encircle them. Which we might soon hear encircle them again by connecting our front line to the Portuguese nation, which we've just done there. So now we're connected to Portugal, and effectively now we can just sweep the rest up in terms of the top pocket here. And then we have officially encircled Valencia here as well, so we will just encircle and sweep this up as well. And now once that's all swept up, we should be good to continue our attack into Valencia and hopefully take it, because that would be good. But it's unclear whether we will or won't be able to do so here in a second. I'm sure we will. We're skilled soldiers. Right, so we should start attacking into Valencia. The idea here is to basically we want to ideally here separate their forces, so they have to pick somewhere to fight. Whether that's they withdraw everyone and pick to fight for Madrid and Sevilla, or they decide to withdraw everyone and fight for Valencia or whatever, we need to make them pick front line and side to fight on, and then we need to basically severely teach them that they shouldn't have stood on that line, and effectively take the line back anyway, because that would be fun and sort of amusing. Now we've got two options that we can do here. One, we can reclaim Hanover and remember the House of Hanover and basically go that way down. Or two, we can go remember the House of Tudor, reclaim France, which we've already technically done. Does that make France a core? I mean, I would go both, which we can actually do, so that's funny. I'd say go remember the House of Tudor, and then we'll just get Hanover as a spare fort. That's the best option, to be fair. We'll keep advancing here, because obviously we do not want to slow down in the slightest, because the second we slow down is the second we lose everything. So let's continue to advance and close out pockets. We should have Gibraltar back here in a moment, connected obviously to our main front this time, which obviously is one of the key things we're trying to do, is connect little cut-off bits of territory back into the main empire. And also another small goal is to take the entirety of Africa under our control and just have one entire continent fully British. So, fun ideas. I mean, technically Australia is a continent in itself, so technically we do already own a continent, but I ignore technicalities. Europe must be ours, Asia and everyone else, We'll do it the less on a technicality way and more on a practicality of, these are the major continents, let's just take some, shall we or shall we not? My chair needs oiling, is what I've just figured out. I haven't just figured out, I've known it for a long time, but it's just pain. And not on my list of things to do, unfortunately. I have many things on my list, and that is unfortunately not on there. Well, I mean, it's on there, but it's like 700th in the line, so unfortunately, it is not a priority. But I will get it done at some point. I'll probably get a new one, to be fair. When I do my room up a bit, I'll get a new chair, possibly a gaming chair that actually is nice and a little bit more comfortable and not falling apart. But this one will do for now, till it actually falls apart, which it probably will. Hopefully I get a little bit more time out of it, but I mean, once it falls apart, I have to get a new gaming chair. Or not necessarily a gaming chair, because they're probably quite expensive, and I ain't about to do that. But a new chair, if your chair falls apart, you buy a new chair. So that's sort of where I am on that matter. I am now just desperately staring at the front lines for them to move. It's not working. Apparently staring at front line doesn't make it move any quicker than it was going to anyway. How disappointing. What disgraceful nonsense. Right, well, effectively all we need to do here is take Gibraltar, re-secure that, and then just take the rest of Spain. So that is the idea. Give or take a little bit. Pause the game here. Probably attacking up into there. I say no, go back and attack into Gibraltar. Because I'm heavily wanting to take Gibraltar back here. Because if we can take that back, then we've effectively doomed Spain. Not that we already haven't, because it's quite obvious we have, but it would just be a nice moment. There you go, Gibraltar is now back under our control, which is obviously very good politically. And now we'll just do a little excursion out of Gibraltar and officially start to push up maybe to Sevilla here in a second, which in fact we'll do now, because why not? Let's make advantage of what we have. So we've done Remember the House of Tudor here, which is good. Now we'll do Reclaim France here, which is a 70-day focus tree, or 70-day focus, or whatever it's called. So we'll get that done here. And then once that's done, we can then move on to doing other wild and interesting ideas, because why not? We should have Spain done here in a minute or two. I mean, they don't have much left. They have probably, I think they're mostly held up by German divisions or German training at this point. However, British and Italian divisions are basically just steamrolling into the nation. And once we get on a move, once a nation attacks and breaks through to the point of what we have currently, where we've got, places like Bilbao, Madrid, Valencia, Barcelona under our control, and we've recaptured someone like Gibraltar, it's near impossible for Spain to come back. Like, at this point, how the war is going, if Spain was to come back from this, it would be impressive. But I really don't think I'm going to let that happen. And I'm going to keep putting pressure on here to just wipe the rest of the front line out. And there you go. That is Spain done, dusted, and taken over. So we'll take the Navy here as a priority, because British naval expansion and stuff. So we'll take all of that. Now once we've got all of that under our control, the next matter would be to basically take all their territory. But we'll start off with just taking an island here. And once we've got that island, we will then submit the demands, go to the next round, probably pass a round up, or more than one round apparently. We're now in the final round, and we'll just take everything. Like literally everything. We'll just take the entirety of Spain, and they will officially fall under the name of the British Empire, or the United Kingdom, or whatever we're called at this point. So there you go. That is everything under our control in terms of that sense, and now we share a border with Portugal, so it'll be easier for Portugal to send troops over and monitor what we are doing and help us not cause chaos. Well, like they've got much of a choice on that matter, because believe me, we will be causing absolute chaos given half a chance. So we'll build a nice front line here, and now we've got a nice, give or take again, now we've got a nice front line being drawn. We just have to wait for all our troops to move up and get on the border. And once they're all on the border, then we can go into war with Ireland, and that should be getting us started on, well, sort of where we want to be, which would be good. Now we need to check our navy to see how that's getting on. Next battleship is the 9th of January 1939. Something tells me it's already produced quite a few battleships at this point. Yes. Something tells me that would be about right. Let's just make a battleship name, because why don't we? Let's make it HMS. I don't see why not. Let's make one with the name of the channel. Because I don't see simply why not. We'll also make one named after Bismarck, because why also not? There you go, and that's the HMS Bismarck going to be created at some point. Such a weird selection. What else should we name one? I don't know, there's probably a fun name that we can name something. I don't know. I'll figure it out in the future. I will, once the series is over, I will probably be continuing this save game off camera, just as an off camera personal save game from that point onwards. Just because I guess I like playing as the UK. It's fun. Right, so Canada, well, I'm going to war with Canada anyway, it doesn't really matter. Might as well just take an extra stab at it. We should take Ireland over incredibly quickly here, considering the fact we took Spain as quick as we did. Ireland should pose little to no threat. They've got, what, 5 divisions maybe? Possibly. And we've got well on 35 on their border, so we should be alright. We just basically need to start pushing towards Dublin as quick as we possibly can, which we should start here in a second. Because I think once we take Dublin, they'll probably move down to Cork. Once we take Cork, I reckon we'll be alright. I don't think they'll move anywhere else, because that's mainly their biggest secondary city from Dublin. Yeah, told you. Move down to Cork. I also need to be careful how I say that, because that could really, like, if I say that Irish city way too fast, it could sound like something that I do not want to say on this channel. So for everyone wondering, I'm saying the Irish city of the capital that you can see here, which I'm showing you here. Just for everyone who's wondering, who may have misheard that, I am referencing an Irish city, and its name is completely normal. There you go, Ireland has surrendered, and now we can crack on with some more things that we need to do. So we'll take their amount of coal here, quite helpful, and then we'll take their territory, obviously, because the empire needs to expand, and we need the British Isles back again. So now we should have the United Kingdom with Great Britain and Ireland officially restored, which is really good to see. Just checking what we can do. I mean, we can expand the rubber plant, but I can't be bothered. Okay, nothing important. Let us see if there's something we can do here. Nope. We just got to wait another 20 days for anything to happen over there. I mean, should we travel to Canada? I'm kind of intrigued whether we should actually go to Canada and fight. I think it'd be a fun idea. It might be a good idea, actually, to head over to Canada. Yeah. I'm obviously going to teleport my units into Canada because I can't be bothered to fight through the lands of pain and suffering. So we'll just teleport into Toronto, probably, because that sounds about normal. So here we are in Toronto, the home of New Canada, for now anyway, or at least that's what we hope it will be. Obviously our Canada is going to be orange now, which is a very interesting colour, and obviously we'll push up towards Montreal here in order to take Ottawa just as a byproduct of the attack. Because I mean, ideally, you know, we're not focused on taking Ottawa. We're focused on taking somewhere like Montreal and actually expanding our allies' control of Canada. Should be ideal. But I mean, from a standpoint of, you know, territory we might like, I mean, I wouldn't mind possibly expanding a little bit into Côte Nord, I think. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad option, or expanding somewhere like Nova Scotia, and what's this one called? This New Brunswick as well. So Nova Scotia and New Brunswick might be a great idea to expand into, still leaving Canada with a bit of territory for itself. But what's this? I will help Chile, I guess. Oh yeah, we own Chile. Forgot about that. We might also take St. Lawrence here, but we'll see how things go in a moment or so. Effectively here we're just going to slowly speed through to Montreal and hope that it finishes as soon as possible. There you go, now we've got a full bit of territory under our control. Now we can use it as a starting point for all future invasions of Canada that we want planned at the minute. United States is in a faction. I would like to ask them for some things here. Mainly military access would be nice. So I shall ask them for military access here. That way, if we need it, we have got the access to go through and basically resupply our divisions here, which would be really good. We can apparently also ask for airbase access, which I'm obviously going to do, because that is important for me to do here as well. So we've got that. Obviously we're not going to be able to get them in our faction, which is obviously something or other. Unfortunate is what I think I was trying to go for there. Turn that off. And then hopefully here we should be able to select a new focus. Does that... Right, that just gives us core on Lazio for whatever random reason. And like, why? I physically don't understand the idea with it. Why do we want a core on Lazio? I think I'd much rather go down a meeting with the Pope, because that's got more backing to it if it's an actual thing that we're doing, rather than whatever nonsense that was planned previous. Anyway, we're getting quite far into this video, so I'm going to say that this is probably the end of the video now, and I reckon that's probably a good time to end it. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications when you do subscribe. So when you click the subscribe button on my channel, a little bell symbol will pop up. If you click on that and then you click all, that will turn on your notifications, so you'll get notified whenever I post a video, which is basically when I have a video that goes up. You'll get a sort of notification that I've posted, so you get to go and watch it pretty much as soon as it comes out. So please do that. If you know someone who might like my channel, please do share this video to them. And with that being said, I reckon that's about the end of this video. which I've probably said about 16 times at this point. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did, am I just going to do the outro 16 times here? Probably. Anyway, thank you all so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.